strikerless tactics, competitors ending their draft accidentally too early, and a team full of Toms. The Streamer Showdown Season 4 draft had everything. My name is Steve, or Hood Gaming, and in today's video we are going to recap all of the squads that were drafted on draft night, and I will give my prediction as to who I think is going to win Season 4 of the Streamer Showdown. But before we get into the squads, let's remind ourselves of the pool that the players were able to draft from. This season's draft pool had a flavour of youth, as only players 24 years and under were eligible from the following leagues: the Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, Ligue 1, the Primeira Liga, and the Eredivisie. All of these players were available as long as they were 24 years and under, and each player had a budget of 350 million. So let's dive in and see who drafted who. He did all of his draft prep live on stream, and he was a man of his word, as Dr. Benji selected Liverpool fullback Trent Alexander-Arnold with the first overall pick of the Season 4 draft. In a pool that's lacking depth at right back, Trent has all the attributes that you love to see in an attacking defender. High attributes for crossing, passing, and vision really make him a threat on that right-hand side. Away from fullbacks, Ben has a phenomenal midfield pairing Kai Havertz alongside Mason Mount and Barcelona star Pedri in what he's teased as a strikerless tactic. Now, we have seen the match engine really struggle with that all-important role, the central midfielder on attack duty. It really struggles with those runners from deep. But is it a smokescreen? Is he going to use something completely different? I'm not entirely sure. Or will the gaffer use this strikerless masterpiece to guide him all the way to his first Streamer Showdown title? Returning for Season 4, we have Chesnoy Gaming. Now, Ches raised a lot of eyebrows by selecting a goalkeeper in the second overall spot, as he selected Italian giant Gianluigi Donnarumma. Now, I will say there is a lot to like about the PSG shot stopper. At 6'5" tall with amazing one-on-ones, Donnarumma is going to be very difficult to score against up close, and with his 19 reflexes alongside 16 for anticipation and 15 positioning are going to make him almost unbeatable from long range. Looking at the rest of Ches's squad, it's a little bit of the drafting meta. He's big at the back, he's got those midfield engines in the middle of the park, and then he's got a lot of pace at the top of the field. However, there is a slight concern over where the goals are going to come from, as his main goal output will be Benfica striker Darwin Núñez, who will be making his debut in the Showdown, as he has never ever been drafted in Showdown history before. Up next, we have reigning and defending Streamer Showdown champion Holly Plays. Holly is back for Season 4 of the Showdown, as she looks to go back to back and win 2 titles in a row. Looking at Holly's squad, you can see that she was trying to get the band back together and drafted 5 of the exact same players that won her the Showdown in Season 3, including big man up top, Dusan Vlahovic. The big Serb was absent in Saturday's league stage last time around, but really turned up big on the Sunday, scoring 7 of his 9 goals during the knockout phase of the competition. After the winter update, Vlahovic is the dream striker with 18 finishing, 16 composure, and 16 for off the ball. Can he fire Holly to yet another Streamer Showdown title? Drafting in the 4th spot, we have a lowdown regular in Viking Dan. To his surprise, Erling Haaland was still available in that 4th spot, and whilst Haaland takes up a big portion of his £350 million budget, he is a proven goal scorer in Streamer Showdown history. Haaland was selected by Lelujo in Season 2 and managed to net him 13 goals in 12 appearances with an average rating of 7.78. Looking at his profile, the Norwegian has all the attributes you're looking for in an elite striker, coupled with the fact that he is 6'4". Looking at the rest of Dan's squad, there is a lot to like, including Italian fullback Federico Di Marco. He offers a lot going forward, as well as an exceptional set-piece delivery, making Viking Dan a potential dark horse for this title. Returning for his first showdown of the FM22 game cycle, we have Klates, who will be looking to reassert why he is a former Streamer Showdown champion. With his first pick of the draft, Klates picked up Napoli striker Victor Osimhen to lead his line. He has electric pace and the ability to put the ball in the back of the net. That will make the Nigerian a threat for all defences to be aware of going into Saturday's games. Klates was somehow able to draft Alexander Isaac, Breland Bolo, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Donyell Marlin to give him the best and most effective strike force in the entire competition, and he will be looking to deploy his striker full tactic. Looks like Klates is heading towards a 3-striker tactic this weekend, and he definitely has the firepower to get the goals. Drafting in the 6th position, we have Tom FM, and I'm going to be honest, guys, I don't really know where to start with this one. On Twitter, Tom was offered £100 by 7-time winner Lelujo to draft an entire squad full of Toms. I cannot believe it, but he did it. Tom FM accepted the gauntlet thrown down by Lelujo and has drafted this entire squad of Toms, with the exception of one man, Lincoln, who obviously, if you don't know Tom, he is from Lincoln. He is a Lincoln supporter, so that is why he was allowed to have that, and he will now be £100 richer just because of it. I have to be honest here, I don't really fancy Tom's chances. Amongst all the Toms and Lincoln, he will be most relying on Sporting forward Thiago Thomas for the goals. Now, don't get me wrong, Thomas has a lot of the attributes you look for, but he is only 19 and takes a little bit of time to develop. I just don't think he's ready to take the showdown by storm just yet. To be honest, I can see an elimination playoff for Tom FM this weekend. In the 7th spot, we had Work the Space, who picked up Chelsea fullback Reece James with his first pick of the draft. Now, in my opinion, Reece James is the best right back in the game. I'm not starting the whole England right back debate here. I'm not starting that. We are talking Reece James, and I think, as I said, he is one of the most well-rounded youngsters in the game. Not only can he play in a multitude of positions, he's fantastic going forward and will be deadly getting balls into that penalty area with his 18 attribute for crossing. At the other end of the field, Jack will be looking to Tammy Abraham to score him the goals. The Roma forward has all the attributes to do that and become a real threat inside the penalty area, but in previous showdowns he's not necessarily had the best record. His goal record is pretty good, but he was very much a frustration for lowdown panelist this time around, Stinger, in last season's showdown. Season 3's defeated finalist Zealand is back for another showdown, as he is in the pursuit of the elusive Lelujo with his 7 titles. With the first pick of the draft, Z secured now Newcastle midfielder Bruno Guimaraes, who is very well rounded and can play in both central midfield and defensive midfield. However, this isn't the first time Zealand has drafted Bruno in this game cycle. He picked him up back in Season 2, where he played 12 games and have an average match rating of just 6.55. Zealand will be looking for a much better performance from the Brazilian this time around. However, we don't want to talk about Bruno for this entire segment. The rest of Z's squad is very well rounded and looks like a Zealand squad, which we know he is capable of taking all the way to the title. Up front, personally, I'm looking forward to seeing the strike partnership between Moise Kean and João Felix, because they're not necessarily the sort of players that you would see Zealand pick up normally. He likes kind of slightly bigger dudes. I'm interested to see how this strike combo really does get on. Last, but by no means least, we have RDF Tactics, who is picking in the 9th spot for the 2nd showdown in a row. RDF has the smallest squad of the showdown after getting a little bit too excited and tapping his spacebar a few too many times to prematurely end his draft with just a squad of 17 players. However, the players that he has drafted will fit perfectly into the 4-3-3 system that dominated the competition in Season 3. He may have picked him up as a 4th round pick, but I think Nicolo Barella will be his key player this weekend. The Inter Milan midfielder can do it all. Not only can he pass and tackle, but he can do it for the full 90 minutes at a super high intensity thanks to his 20 work rate and 16 stamina. Can last season's league winner go one step further this weekend and secure that all-important dub? So the teams have been drafted and we are ready to move into this weekend's action. Personally, for me, I'm expecting to see a title match between Dr. Benji and Klates. I think these two have drafted the best all-round squads in the entire competition, and there will be 2 big questions that need to be answered over the course of the weekend. Will the strikerless tactic work for Ben and take him to his first showdown title, or will Klates have far too much firepower for the rest of the competition? At the other end, I'm expecting an elimination playoff between Tom FM and his band and team of Toms versus Chesnoy Gaming. Let us know down in the comment section who you think is going to take home the win over the course course of the weekend and who you think is going to be in that all-important elimination playoff. One last thing for me, make sure you're following the FM Streamer Showdown on Twitch so you do not miss any of the action over the course of the weekend. Until next time, take care, guys.